Hi, this is Paul Pharma. I'm back again. But today I'm here to talk about something a little bit different. A bit about my, raison d'etre, reason to be. Why do I operate the way that I do? And really, why I decided, for me, being in the pharmaceutical business was about getting things done, about being a business enabler, rather than stopping things and making things harder and not work properly. Because when I first came into contact with QPs, there was two QPs working for me, and that's probably not the first time I came into contact with them, but it's probably the first time this came to me. Their reason for doing the job was to stop things going out, stop the batch that had something wrong with it getting out of the door. Now, yes, as a QP, you need to stop the bad batches getting out the door, but it's just as important to help with getting the good batches out the door and to making sure that you've got all the evidence in place to demonstrate that they're up to the right standard, that they've got the right quality, safety, and efficacy, and they are suitable to be administered to the patient. I've been a QP now for about half my career, maybe how many years? 17 years. And when I decided to become a QP, I knew at the time, in fact, to be honest, before I became a QP, I'd already decided that I wanted to support pharmaceutical manufacturing and supply and actually make it work, not be the one that's in the quality team that stops anything and prevents the business process and prevents things from happening. Unless, of course, there's a good reason to stop it. If you're putting the patient at risk, of course, I'll still say no. But my ethos and approach really is, how do I make it work? How do I get it better? How do I stop this failure happening again? The colleagues I was talking about, their thoughts were always, oh, well, I want to make them feel the pain. But why would you want to do that if that has a detrimental impact on the business that you're actually working within? Why do you want to make, really, the people paying your salary have a hard time? Because they're the ones generating the money. It's not very often that unless you're in some sort of consultancy, it's not very often that the quality team or the qualified person is on their own generating money for the company. They're usually a cost center, not a profit center. So if you restrict the profit center from making money, well, who's going to appreciate the role that you perform? However, if you facilitate or enable or help the team do it right, as what I call a business enabler, then they will appreciate what you do and they'll come back and ask you to do it again, because you actually get the product out to the market on time, of the right quality, safety, and efficacy. So when I became a QP, I wanted the patient to benefit from the knowledge and experience I've got, ensuring the product was of the right quality, safety, and efficacy, of course. And to do that, I have to get involved. I have to support the business. I have to make sure that they gain from my being there, not resist involving me in things. And I do find that happens quite often when companies have had a history of quality team members, QPs, whoever, restricting change, restricting progress, restricting their ability to do a better job, to improve efficiency, to get the right product in the market, then I find that they resist allowing you to get involved in their activities. And some of the time that means that you don't actually find out about the things that you really ought to know about, that you need to know so that you can actually do the right work in advance to make sure you assure, as in quality assurance, the quality of the product. And the safety and efficacy is, of course, paramount in doing so. Now, I do find that many people get driven really to stop things, rather than being driven to make sure it works. When you're doing a QC check, what are you looking for? Are you looking to provide the evidence that you've done it right? Often they focus on, oh no, they've done that wrong, let's stop it and raise this paperwork. If it's right, they just carry on to the next stage and don't really see that as a success. Whereas I think they should. If the team's there and they're helping to get the product out of the door on time, in full, then they should realise that they're a big benefit to the business. And of course, vice versa, the business should understand that those that help them get the product to market, whether it's a support team, an enabler, whether it's the manufacturers, whether it's the people producing the product and placing it on the market, everybody has their own part to play. We can't be there fighting with each other. We have to be there to work together to do it right. And often I find there's resistance to work together. There's an email and you chuck it over the wall to the other team. There's a EQMS and you just pass it on. Who's got to do the next step? Not me. Let the system sort it out. Well, that's not really the best attitude, in my opinion. You should be working together. And when you work together, I do think that two heads are better than one. And I do think you get a multiplier effect. And you actually get to the end of whatever it is that you're planning to do faster by working together. So, what I suggest to you is become an enabler rather than a blocker. Get the job done. It's Paul Pharma. I'll talk to you soon.